I tried to explain it to them. They really find this whole concept extremely interesting, as this is still for them at least new technology. But explaining this to other people who have never really tried VRchat and overall having like lags in VRchat and stuff like that, which is already something exquisite, may I say. It's difficult to explain it to them, but I really find this concept overall very interesting, because this might probably be the future, you know?
Welcome to Metaverse Degen. I'm Lion.
I'm Old Man Raptor, and the guest next to me, not in front of me, is
Parzeval! Woo!
Welcome back, Parzeval.
What the hell did he have?
It's nice
what the
to
fuck
see
did
you.
he have? I want some. What the hell he's on?
It's just like last time.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, must be in the air. Can you smell that, folks? It's really good. You got to try it. It's the best thing in the world. Open up your front door and just take a whiff. Hope nobody farted. Okay, what?
Well,
no.
I will say this. It's nice to have you back, and what a strong start to your first episode. So congratulations, by the way. I watched it. It was very well done.
Thank you so much. Yeah, Virtual Focus was actually really cool to make, especially having Tupper on the first episode. It was kind of, honestly, also unplanned, but it was great. It was a great conversation, and everything that we've planned also with Guzzibo as a cameraman, shoutouts, everything worked really well, just as I expected it to be. So,
So I will start with what made you want to start Virtual Focus, and what did you learn from the first episode experience?
So basically, first it was just another extension of the Creator VR podcast, but the Creator VR podcast had 4 people in it, and it was just too much of, how can I say it, in hours of the podcast, and taking your time for each one that you have on your podcast, especially for the Creator VR podcast, 4 people. And I wanted to focus for only one creator, and also go a little bit more into depth what they do in VRchat and what their goal is in VRchat. And I also kind of wanted to give people how can I say this, like an inspiration type of episode they can like take inspiration from when it comes to quality and stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
So that was basically the idea.
So how different is Virtual Focus from the Creator podcast, and how do you intend on inspiring people within the podcasting and with what you do?
So personally, I think also the quality is completely different, as I usually try to prepare for such podcasts 2 weeks in advance, with scripting and stuff, doing some research, especially for the Tupper podcast. I did a lot of research. I did what I think 20 to 30 hours of research. Oh my god, I got a request right now. I gotta close this real quick. And and it was a lot of research and everything and stuff, but it worked out really well. And compared to the Creator VR podcast, it was also a lot more easier, as again you were able to only focus on one person that you were interviewing, and yeah, it is in parts different also from the production. I mean, we had Guzzibo in the second episode of the Creator VR podcast, which was really great. I'm not gonna lie, but it was still too many people in it, and like shrinking it down to one person that I can focus on, or that people can also listen to, is just brings more flow into the conversation. So there's definitely a few differences.
I very much agree on the multiple people thing. Back in the day, Raptor and I, before we started interviews, would have our friend group on. Those like maybe anywhere from 3 to 8 people, and No, because everyone's
Yeah,
talking over each other. It's hard to have a conversation. It's hard to get in depth with everybody simply because everyone wants to be heard. So you can't really focus on one person in particular. Instead of getting like one person and what they do, it's broad strokes. Like everyone gets a little polite question and can't go too deep. So I very much can understand the whole wanting to slim it down to a singular person. That's kind of what we
yeah.
did.
It's exactly that. It's just people would talk over each other and stuff like that. And if you do one by one, then it just there's no flow in the conversation. It's just they just simply answer the question, and people don't really have a conversation with each other. But if you let them have the conversation with each other, they talk over each other. So that's why focusing on one person, like you guys do, is just easier to have a flowing conversation. So yeah, that's
What's it
that's what
remind
I
you of, a
think.
debate team?
Yeah, well, nah, yeah, it does remind me somewhat of a debate team, depending on the topic. But overall, you want to keep the conversation flow. So yeah,
Hmm.
Care what your flow is, but quit flying like a chicken. You're gonna knock me off the pedestal with your elbow.
I'm making some space. Hold on. Is that good?
Ah, shit! Now I'm moving. God damn it! Sorry, folks. Drift is a bitch. Don't get drifty. No, you're fine. I'm just giving you hell.
So
I'm just giving you hell.
I will ask
It's
you
all
this.
good.
What were some of the interesting bits of conversation or things you've learned from chatting with Tupper during the time, and also running your first like episode with focusing on one person? What was the whole experience like, and what did you learn from it?
It's probably the fact that there's so much more going on behind the scenes when it comes to the Vrchat team, and so much more, observation that Tupper has to do in all kinds of aspects in Vrchat. It's a lot of stuff that he has to work with, and has to give approval of or disapprove stuff. He has definitely a lot of competence. I mean, he has been working on in many other different companies as well. So he was already kind of somewhat refined in what he's already doing, although he was not expecting to get the head of community position. But basically a lot of behind the scenes, which was really interesting. It's not your everyday thing that you get a look behind the scenes or someone from behind the scenes explaining to you what's going on. And that was really something. Also, the overall structure and how the Vrchat team works with each other, that was also really interesting. I think a lot of aspects, I can say so. So that's also the reason why I wanted to have this podcast, to give people an insight of what a Vrchat developer or a Vrchat head of community actually does behind the scenes. What a day in the life look like. Because I can only imagine Tupper like typing on his keyboard and managing the Discord chat, or just being in developer update videos and patch notes and stuff. I had no idea what he was actually doing behind the scenes, but there's a lot he does. So yeah.
Now, did you have any pre-notions of what you would learn or what the experience would be like going into it?
Oh, can you repeat that question again? I'm sorry, I got distracted.
It's all good. Did you have any like pre-notions or things you thought ahead of time of what like the conversation would go like, or what you would hear from it going into it, and was there different from what you expected?
I mean, as I prepared for the conversation, so I kind of want to have somewhat of an idea of what we could talk about, but we actually did drift it off into some things that were even more interesting than I actually planned it to be. So it kind of expanded the whole conversation flow. And overall, I think, for example, I didn't knew that he had like kind of like military, not experience, but from his family somewhat, and he's been interested in like jets and stuff. And I didn't really knew that, like that's also behind the scenes, but I did knew that he was like flying around in jets. So stuff like this, for example. Yeah, but these are like things that just come in a flowing conversation, which I really, really find interesting. It's really something interesting to hear from someone who you look highly of, as this person is somewhat also managing the whole VRchat community in a sense.
I've also noticed an avatar change from my last talk to you. Did the whole experience rub off on you?
Yeah. Well, that happened. So yeah, I'm gonna give a shout out to Wahlgesicht. I don't know if you guys already had Wahlgesicht on your podcast. Really great personality, who also wears the Runa avatar.
Yeah, works at
Wahlgesicht and
pjkt
Tupper.
and
Exactly.
yeah. We actually have the schedule to come on, and we've had a chance of meeting and talking and working with them through pjkt as well.
Yeah, they're great. They're doing great stuff, by the way. They're really doing great stuff. I've been to I think some of their events, and it's just so funny. Like throwing out a word, and they do like funny stuff with it. It's pretty cool. But Tupper and Wahlgesicht, they do wear the same avatar like Runa, and Tupper actually gave me the push to, or kind of like my own motivation to make my own Runa avatar. But even before that, Wahlgesicht, I think that avatar also kind of like matched their personality, and I was like, well, why not make my own avatar and make a video about it, which would be perfect. So yeah,
I
that's
saw
how
the
I got
video.
into it.
I saw the video. It looks really good. How much went into the video for it, and how'd it go?
Writing a script. The thing is, I've been stalling with scripts recently due to a media production academy. So it took, I think, overall 10, 20 hours. Usually this avatar series, the VRchat avatar series doesn't take that long for one video. And but they're fun to make. They're fun to make. But they usually don't take that long. But I've been stalling this, I think, since the beginning of August. It's been some time. Probably a month.
Okay. So what does you mentioned going to college for media production. What do they think about what you're doing with the podcast and your YouTube channel and everything here in VR? And how much of that were you able to pull into what you do?
They've been asking me how we do filming in VRChat, how we use the camera in VRChat, how that stuff works, how we just click two buttons and we can technically film it and have an MP4 file that records everything we do in VRChat. It's so hard to explain someone who never has been to VRChat or virtual reality or have been using OBS and stuff like that, and explaining to them that this is how it works. But they find it interesting nonetheless. And you could use all the media production stuff for example, there's, I think it's called VRC Lens, where you can use the autofocus, the manual focus, manual mode, and stuff like that, and aperture, which also is something that we've been actually learning on in Media Production Academy. So there are a lot of things that you could technically intertwine with what you do in VRChat and with camera and stuff. But yeah, they've been asking me a lot about how this stuff works, and they still can't figure it out. But they've been asking for my YouTube channel and stuff. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So it sounds like they're very supportive
It's
of
funny.
what you do and curious. That's actually pretty awesome to hear that your teachers are interested in that and what you do here.
Yeah. It's funny. It's not even the teachers. It's also the students. They can't believe that like we three are in a virtual space. You guys are in America. I'm in Germany. They can't put exactly that idea in their head. We're technically having a conversation right now as we speak. They will never. They simply don't understand that kind of concept. Not yet. But yeah.
Whoa. Let me catch this straight. So you're going to college, correct? Right? You call it
Yeah.
whatever you call it over there. And they can't. Whoa, college is getting really rough these days, Lion. People can't comprehend one simple things. We're in trouble.
Well,
It's
We're
true.
in big
It's true.
trouble. We're in big trouble,
Well,
man. Oh
Raptor,
shit.
you also have to bear in mind, not a lot of people use VR the same way us three do. Not everyone knows, like, you
I
can hop in a
know.
program and stuff.
I know that, but come on. You think, a little college education goes a long ways these days. I guess you just piss that in the wind and hope you don't get wet. Gotcha. I know how it works. It just, it's funny when you talk, just like he's saying, when you talk to somebody about it and they look like you are a monkey trying to do a math problem and you're saying it all wrong. Is what I'm getting at. It's funny. I don't know if you've done that, but I sure have. I explained it to my parents. My mom goes, "What? What?" And I go, "Okay, never mind, Mom. Never mind. Just let it go."
It is like that. Yeah, we don't know. When we try to do physics, they gave us like a short course on the basics of physics and gave us a little test. And someone wrote the biggest planet is the sun. I don't know who wrote that in our class, but
What?
yes.
Seriously? Oh man.
Someone did. Someone wrote the biggest planet in our solar system is the sun. Can you imagine that?
Oh,
I can already tell Rapture's not happy about that.
that reminds
I'm
me.
not
back,
happy about it
No.
either.
back when I was in high school, I walked into my English class, and when I walked in, it was like a study hall at the time, and it was like halfway into the study hall, and I was going from one place to another into the study hall, and there was a student arguing with the English teacher about what buy one get one free meant, and I walked to the conversation and went as thus: "I know what it is, but what does it mean?" And the teacher would say, "You buy one thing, you get one free." "I know what it is, but what does it mean?" And went on for like 30 minutes straight, non-fucking stop.
Oh my god. Oh my god, the poor teacher, dude. Oh no. It's that simple. You don't even. Oh my god. I don't know what to say.
Well, I don't get me wrong. Sometimes certain things is certain situations and everything you would look at, but yeah, it's not an issue. It's just okay.
All right,
All
Raptor.
you can do is,
We're going to quiz you on the
What?
most up-to-date terminology. What does buy one, get one free mean?
well, if you buy one, you get the other one free, and your price, what you're getting. Well, if you get technical, you're actually not getting the second one free because they added a little bit to it, so they get a little bit of money out of the other one. Yeah, yeah. It's like, I know what that's like. Yeah.
You're smarter than a senior high school student.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate that, buddy. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Wow. Yeah, it's almost like get what you should. At least you didn't say you buy three and get the fourth one for free. That really would have.
Hold on.
What?
Don't break
How
the
hell
poor
you get
girl's.
one?
Don't break the poor girl's brain.
Okay.
One item free is too much for her. We
Okay.
can't have her think about three.
Three. Gotcha. Okay. My bad.
So
Oh man.
yeah.
after just some explaining to your teachers and your students of what you do, what is their general response to the whole like virtual production?
Oh, this has got to be good.
Oh yeah. The thing is, I tried to explain it to them, but they still can't like have their head around it. But they think it's motion capture, which is kind of true. I mean, if you, for example, do like short films in Vrchat, it's kind of like motion capture, but it's different. How can I explain it? How would you guys explain it? I could not explain it. I could not explain it in English, and even in German.
Live mocap? It is mocap, but you're not recording the animation. You're just getting it live. So I'd say probably live mocap, maybe. Is that
Yeah,
apt?
I think that will either make sense. Live mocap, something like this. I tried to explain it to them. They really find this whole concept extremely interesting, as this is still for them at least new technology. but explaining this to other people who have never really tried VRChat and overall having like lags in VRChat and stuff like that, which is already something exquisite, may I say. It's difficult to explain it to them, but I really find this concept overall very interesting because this might probably be the future, you know.
What gets me is Wade just probably describing it to him. It's like a friend of mine that went into the service, and she had where she was stationed at, believing where I used to live, because we were still living in barns, riding on cows, and just got our first color TV. Yeah.
Well,
They didn't think people in the the central part of our country have colored TVs and still riding on cows. Yeah, it must be just don't drink the water. I don't know.
Moo.
I just don't know what to come up with when people. Wait, don't get me wrong. I can understand what he's going through. I've been there, but when you try to explain something that somebody doesn't understand, nothing against the person, if it doesn't sink, it doesn't sink. I don't care what you do. It's just one of those things. You could actually draw it out, have it on stereo instructions, and it just doesn't click. Everybody gets that once in a while when you read something or do something or have somebody explains and go, what? You've had that problem even with me. I explain something, you go, what? You know, it's just how you put it off there. And you could have it as simple as terms as possible. And some people it just doesn't click. It's not, you know, and I could see what he's talking about. But my biggest thing is when you're telling them this and everything else, I'd like to know what the hell the look and their face when you're trying to explain it. That's what's got my curiosity up. They probably think you got smoke coming out of your ears and you're stepping in a bucket of shit you can't walk through. Like you're BSing it, right? Oh boy.
Yeah, they're like, huh? What? But like they really try. They really want to understand. They really try to understand. But like you said, Raptor, there's smoke coming out of the ears, out of the heads.
I can understand
really
that. It's understanding. I've worked with people like that in the real life, and I can understand a situation and stuff like this. And when you try to explain something to something that's really simple, and they just stare at you like, huh?
Well,
and it just gets worse.
I think with VRChat, to try to explain VR and virtual production to someone is like explaining how cars work to the Amish.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's
pretty much.
That is that's nail on the head.
Or teach somebody how to drive a manual transmission, and they get into it and wonder why the car don't go. Or, oh, wait a minute, better yet, these newer cars that's got the push button system. You got to have the car key in your hand, and you got to push the button to get the car to start. You don't put the key into anywhere. You just push the button because it just syncs up with the car key in your hand. Don't feel bad. I know what that's like. That lady wanted me to move her car, and I go, I can't get this damn thing to move. All you have to do is push the button. I go, excuse me, I don't have to put the key in the slot? She goes, no, it just got to have the key on you when you get into the car. It picks it up. I go, then I popped up, and I go, what do you do when the battery goes dead? She goes, you're stuck. Oh, that's great. That's freaking great. So now you parked at a Walmart and you can't go anywhere because your battery's dead in your fucking keys. Yeah, I forgot to charge my keys. Sorry, I'll plug it in. But
when you explain these things to them, did you ever think about putting them in a VR headset and showing them what it's like to do what you do?
Yes, I would love to. The thing is, we actually have VR headsets in our school. So there is a course for like game design, which I actually used to want to be in, but now switching to media production, which I'm in right now. But they have like a classroom with an HTC Vive and an Oculus Rift, which is, well, somewhat ancient to what we have now, but it's still usable. But, they could have that experience if they want to, if they just go into this room and just, check out VRChat on the PCs.
I gotta ask this. Curiosity's just killing me. Okay, are these two items in the same room? Am I correct?
Yes.
Or am I wrong? Oh wow,
Yes.
that's got to be dangerous. Can you imagine two people with VRs walking around, not knowing what the hell they're doing, bumping heads, or touch something and you go, "Wait a minute! Oh, that's skin." Whoops, sorry. Yeah, you can imagine. Whoa!
And there's monitors around them. There's a lot of monitors like in a U form.
Yeah, but still, but you're walking around and two people, boom. Oh, sorry, I didn't see, or get hung up in the cord. That'd be a bitch. Oh, sorry, sir, I didn't see you there.
Yeah.
'Cause you can't see you, I was just curious. I figured I'd be in a separate room or at least a divider between the two of them. But okay, what the hell? You would know.
It's actually cool. They have a motion capture suit with like these little knobs for the whole body, which you can like technically use to, for example, develop like game animations. And maybe that's what they're using VR for, I reckon, or like coding VR games. It's a really cool room.
Okay, now it makes sense. Makes a shit ton of sense now. I just thought it was two wandering people in a room trying to beat the shit out of each other for shits and giggles. I don't fucking know, but I'm not over there. You know, can you imagine your instructor your instructor go, "I want you to put this on, and here you go, and I want you to do this scene, and blah, blah, blah," and you're walking around trying to do the animation, and all of a sudden you just one picks up something and starts swinging and think he's swinging something real and it's not, and the other guy gets it in the head. I don't know. It just sounded wicked, Guys, we go through a lot more people these days. They end up being hospitalized. Why is that? Because the other guy's beating the shit out of him with the controller. Oh, whoops. I don't know. He's animated and they're trying to get this tracking set up done to do his character that he's doing in the design, and he beat the hell out of the other guy with the controller in his hand.
Cool stuff. Love this academy, by the way. It's crazy.
I'm sure. Now, since you switched over to media production in college, how much of what you learned there did you pull into your YouTube channel?
Right now, not really much, as we still did like photography. Yeah, somewhat zero. That's I mean, Raptor is right at this point. Yeah, I mean we did photography, so I could technically use the VRC lens correctly now, because I was only seeing numbers on that thing, and I was like, well, I don't know, maybe press this button and somehow this picture will somehow look good. But as we have to figure out how a camera works, because we use it in camera production in production as well, we have to know what kind of shutter speed we're using, what kind of aperture we're using, what kind of ISO we're using and stuff like that. And I do know about this now, but like we did Photoshop as well, just like for beginners, but as of right now we didn't really do much. I mean, we're still somewhat in the beginning, so yeah. Oh wait, hold on. I'm getting a call.
Oh.
Guess what? It's his instructor chewing his butt. Oh, damn, I forgot this hasn't been aired yet. What the hell? You give me crap about my class. What the hell's wrong with you? I thought you were supposed to be learning shit.
Someone from my class called me right now. It's unbelievable. What?
Oh, it's like
wow,
you're talking
about him. Yep, that's what I was gonna say. You're talking
what
about him. I got a wind
coincidence.
of it already. Yeah.
It's the first time I mentioned the freaking academy, and someone from the academy is calling me right now as we speak. What the hell? Come on. Unbelievable.
Oh, wait a minute. I know what had happened. Somebody put the headset on and got wavelength in. There you go. Sounded good. I don't know what else to put.
Yeah, someone hacked my internet. That's probably it. That person hacked my internet.
Hacked his headset. Wanted to see what he was looking at.
Well, funny thing you say that. When you have your headset into your computer, it's an open port as long as it's plugged in. It's a way in.
Yep.
Wait, what?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so when you have your headset
It is?
plugged
You
in
didn't
your
know
computer,
that?
it's a permanent open port as
Oh,
long
yeah.
as it's attached. So if someone wants to get into your computer, if they know what they're doing, it's basically like leaving your back door open.
Yep. Because the cameras that track your hands and stuff like this, you know, that because it's got Yeah. Why are you looking at? Yeah, you. Oh my god. My god.
Long story
man.
short,
Yeah, it's
through
looking at
techno
your hand.
wizardry and the computer needing to run this where the cord leaves a port open, and so people
Okay,
can get
that's
in.
crazy.
Yeah,
Okay,
because the
Damn.
cameras into it. The cameras that you have in your headset can actually check out what's around and everything else like this, and they can go deeper than that. But yeah, it's an open port.
Jeez, I didn't know about that. That's crazy.
Mhm.
Now you know.
What?
Yep.
The
It's
more you
possible?
know. Yeah, it is possible. One of our friends
Yes, it is.
actually.
It's possible.
We've had a conversation with one of the old hosts of Metaverse or co-host of Metaverse Degen. And they told us all about it, how because the headset's plugged in your computer, it's an open port, and what things you could do with it. Honestly, my jaw hit the floor. It's like, you could do what? It's like, yeah, you could do all those things. It's like, oh,
What? What? Well, the more you know. That's crazy. What? That's
Yeah.
insane. Okay, wait.
Well, you know your keyboard on your computer, right? And your mouse is an open port. It's not a closed port. It's an open port. So if they know their shit inside and out, they can go through your mouse or your keyboard because that port's open. And you have to be paranoid as hell. You'd have to shut every port that goes into your whatever you got plugged into it, into the back of it or the front of it or on top, whatever it's plugged. Yeah, it's an open port. They can walk right through it.
well,
Whoa.
for the
one
humor.
in it, bad.
For the humor reasons, I wonder if someone's listening to this in VR chat, panics, and just rips his headset directly out of the computer. Nope, not today, Satan.
Headset? Worry about the headset? How about him grabbing his fucking keyboard and yanking the shit and throwing his mouse out? Going, nah, and starts unplugging shit. You ain't getting in my shit. No way. No way. I don't want nobody getting in my collection of Pokemon pictures. If you get my drift. I was going to say it another word, but we'll leave that one alone.
We all know what Raptor's looking up and has stored at his computer, and it involves Pokemon.
It's not Pokemon. Hey, it's short
Raptor.
people. I like short people, okay? It's just my thing.
It's canon
What?
now. You say, I know you're kidding, but people are gonna believe you.
I'm just joking. I don't got shit like that on my computer. But I have it on my phone. Oh, no, I'm just joking.
So, what have you been up to since we last saw you last year? It's been a long time since we've sat down to chat. We were at Arrow House, I think it was last time.
Ooh. Yeah, that was a long time ago. That was almost a year ago, guys. I think it is.
Yeah,
A good year ago.
it's been a year.
It's been a year ago.
That's insane. Well, I've been through character developments. As you guys can see, I've been changing into the nice Runa avatar. But I also kind of like tried to work out the avatar series and doing more feature request videos. Also doing some controversial features because so many people don't understand why I put like controversial features in these feature videos. And they're all complaining. But it's supposed to be an idea, so you guys can like discuss it and stuff like that. But anyways, yeah, basically that trying to expand on the series, but also working on or planning on new virtual focus episodes, which is still somewhat in concept. My cameraman Gerzibo and we've been kind of like thinking of who we could use in our like in the next episode, but it's still very much concept. So there's still much to plan and what we can do, how to expand this. I mean, I think, yeah, that's what I mentioned to you last time. It's we tried to expand the virtual focus into an actual magazine.
Oh,
Into
well, You guys,
I think that's the.
fair warning for the context last time that you don't know. There was a
Oh, right.
pre-recording of this conversation, except I was stupid and didn't have the VR view on, so you heard all the noise, but was looking at my browser instead. Hee. Oops.
Oh, that'd be
Happens.
interesting. Oh, I
Happens.
got it. I know what you were trying to do, Lion. You were trying to actually do it in stereo instructions so people understand it just with verbally talking in the background. I got you. Hey, that works. Some people like to read.
Sorry to interrupt you. I just
It
want to
happens.
give clarification of what you mean by last time.
Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah. Completely forgot. Again, no problem. But the Virtual Focus magazine. That's what.
Oh,
It's all just a concept. I think it's the idea came from Starhard, who also made like I think it was a digital and a physical version of a photo book or gallery book, kind of something like that. I think
Yeah.
you do have the Starhard book, the physical, right?
I bought the physical copy. I wanted to support Starheart, and I thought it looked cool, so it sits over on a shelf with a bunch of other knickknacks.
It's so cool. It's so creative if you think.
Yeah.
I just love the idea of having something physical that you can, may it be a figurine like the VRC cat figurine, which is already really cool. But having like an actual magazine that you can browse through, may it even be pictures. If you see it's Vrchat related, my brain goes, "Urgh," and I'm instantly like checking that out. So I do want to make something similar to and kind of like expanding Virtual Focus into a Vrchat magazine. But it's still very, very, very much in concept for the things that we planned. So everything is possible. But Starhard was a big inspiration when it comes to that.
I'm sure.
Shoutouts.
Shoutouts to
Okay.
Starheart. If you haven't listened to Starheart before, stop this, go to her social media, watch Starheart, then go buy her photo book. Please and thank you.
100%. They do great stuff. It's really cool. They're doing so cool performances. That's from what I know as well. But the idea of having an actual like magazine or just like a simple gallery photo book that Starhard has is just super cool to me. Like having it physical, having it in your hands, like browsing through it, seeing these pictures. It's just again, my neural activation system in my head is just going brrr when I see that stuff.
Honestly, I think a VRChat magazine or a VR magazine in general would be an amazing idea. Like as it's a growing industry, I'm sure a lot of people love to hear about how do I upload avatars? What it is an avatar? Is it mocap or is it not mocap? Let's talk about it. I think that'd be a really cool things to read, articles and stuff that are relevant. What kinds of do you have any idea what you would put into it if you do go through with it?
Community highlights, for example, like having the Trans Academy getting 4 pages and like highlighting the community, what they do, and what their purpose is in VRChat and stuff like that. Of course, we're probably gonna have a few sponsored posters, which I already like the idea because you guys know if you, for example, go into the Black Hat on the right side, if you go and spawn in, you have all these like posters of the LPD or some other communities. Now imagine that on a magazine. It's already, I really like the idea of having like something again physical and seeing like a VRChat poster ad in a magazine. So that would be sick. And probably also like tutorials, like you mentioned, how to create an avatar, how to do basic things, how to create an asset or upload an avatar, stuff like that. Probably also a few interviews, but we'll see. So this is kind of like the basic that I've been planning when it comes to this kind of magazine.
And with a lot of the tools, you could take photos of things and stuff like that, and you can do it quite easy. You just need to find a publisher. Honestly, I'm quite excited. I wish you the best of luck with it. Hopefully, we can buy one soon. Honestly, I'd buy one.
No doubt. Yeah, I'd be. Yeah. You just don't realize what you're coming up with if you get the setup and a little bit of backing onto it. Because if you're going to make it where it's, in VR itself. Can you imagine going to a place and all of a sudden, you know how you always see and hear that you see somebody's got books or a magazine, and there's a magazine there that you could actually strum through, and it changes weekly or
Ooh.
monthly or something like that into the worlds. You know, if you put it out there that they have the opportunity to buy it, and it's like buying an subscription magazine, like you would do in the real world. There'd be one there for them each time one came out once it took off, and everything else like this. They could actually sit down and pick up the magazine and actually read it. Actually read it. You know how hard it is to read some of the print on some of these books? I do it all the time, and it makes me go blind. Holy shit! Oh wow, okay, gotcha. When you can read it, but you know, I think it'd be pretty cool. Then in reverse it, like you're saying, and put one out in the real world. That's getting those readers that like to read a little more insight what's going on in here. I think you got something. Bet you if you could run
Right?
with it, I'd run with it and give it
Is
a
it?
shot. Hell
Good idea.
yeah, it'd be
And
damn
we
good.
could cover you guys. Metaverse Degen on 4 pages. Straight up.
Hell yeah.
That would be a great idea.
How many pages?
Word
Can
down.
imagine it's
Well,
pretty cool.
Line would be
Huh.
on 4 pages. I'd be at the quarter at the bottom at the small corner because I'm
Raptor would be holding the page
No,
number.
Raptor.
I'm holding the page number.
That actually is a cute idea. Oh, that's sweet. That's actually great.
Have you
You know,
found
I'm gonna keep that in
Have you
mind.
found Raptor? He's in the magazine somewhere. There he is. He's holding the number up. There you go.
Writing in the number. That's actually
Ah.
such a cute idea. Oh my god. You know what? After this podcast, I'm gonna write this idea down. I love this.
There you
This
go.
is so great.
I charge 10% of the magazine sales by. Okay, no problem. Now where we're going?
But only
Well,
for that version.
I'm joking.
Well,
Oh yeah, just for
you
that.
don't have to
magazine,
pay
yeah.
Raptor anything. All you have to do is give him 10% of the magazine. Just cut out 10% of it, and that'd be good.
Yeah, the corner where I'm at. There's your 10%. The part where you're holding whatever in the corner. Hey, look at me. I got this to take home. Yeah.
You can make a small version.
Yeah.
Just a little smaller
Oh,
than,
yeah.
than a 4.
Yeah,
Call it the
tiny
Raptor
magazine.
version. It's just like about maybe an inch
It's
tall.
this small. It's just this small. Oh, that's so
boy.
cute. But
Oh no.
that is so cute.
People
And
be, you
when
know
you
what'll
open it up,
happen,
Raptor's
people-
really small. If you have like
You
a
know what'll
small
happen?
magazine.
Somebody will try to pick it up instead of the big one and try to read it. No, and the big one's right there. Well, we gotta try to read the little one. Oh boy. Same
That's so
description's
cute.
right there on the table.
That's so cute.
Oh boy.
Hello, we're here to interrupt the most interesting thing being said in our current video to ask you a favor, which is, would you mind just joining us on any of the socials we have, such as Discord? We're hanging out all the time playing video games, so you can catch us there very frequently. We have I run Twitter for us, which is LionTurtle21 on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. It'll always be Twitter. But either way, there's that. We also have a Patreon, which we actually have a whole other show for our Patreon members, which are Aliquum and the newest addition to the bunch, Future Oracle.
Niche and Forbidden Zero. Good friends of ours.
Yeah, thank you very much, you guys, for joining. It means a whole lot that you're
Yes.
there. And hope to see you there as well. We have a whole other show. There are some free ones we have released as well for the audio for you to listen to and to see what it's like. It's like a whole other show as a thank you. With that said, please enjoy the rest of your podcast on YouTube.
That's definitely going to my brainstorming. That's such a great
Okay,
idea.
no problem.
Straight up.
No problem. Yeah, you know what's going to happen. He's going to be coming over and go, Raptor, you got any more brain ideas? Oh, I probably got a ton of them. Good, I need some more to throw in my magazine. Oh, crap.
know-
What page do you want me to stand on?
Depending on what you charge to sponsor a magazine, I'll have Metaverse Degen sponsor a sponsor magazine just to put Raptor and holding the page numbers through each.
And with the number. You know, I would make this free.
You know what he's going to do? He's going to go, hey, Raptor, I need the magazine's about 25 pages. I need 25 different poses from you. Oh, shit. Oh crap! Why? So you got to hold the number
It's
up
such
this
a
way.
cute
Go
idea.
this way. Oh boy! Yeah.
Raptor.
Hey, there's Raptor in the corner. Raptor's on page 25 at the end. Oh crap! Oh, great.
Honestly, I think
And the page says,
sorry.
where did you found Raptor? Which number was it? And you have to figure out in which part of the magazine was Raptor holding the number. That's so cute. You know, again, I'm writing this down. It's a great idea.
A
Straight up.
VR Where's Waldo,
Yeah.
but with Raptor. That's great.
What I was getting at earlier. Yeah, where's Raptor in the magazine?
Being in
See
VR
Waldo.
normally, it's
Boy.
hard to find Raptor because he hides in skulls, plants, baskets, lamps, underneath tables, inside bushes. It's like you'll go world hopping with a man,
Oh.
and then he's just gone. He'll be ahead of you, and he's just sitting in a plant pot, watching you go by, not saying anything, and he'll sit there for hours, just watching you go back and forth, saying absolutely fucking nothing.
My newest trick now is to walk under people and stand there and listen to them speak, and then going, okay, yeah, and they look around. And they just look around going, I know he's here, but where? And I'm standing right at their feet. What do you know? You got to have fun where you got to have fun, so it's cool. I do it the line
That's
all
true.
the time. Now he's learned to look down and going, hey, Raptor, what are you doing? Not much. Oh, okay, and goes back to talking to whatever it is. You're like, okay. People look at you, you're like, what the hell? Yeah, that's pretty cool. But no,
I
your
think that-
magazine idea would be great.
Indeed, I'll buy one.
Oh, so would I.
Again, I'll stick with the idea. I really like this one. I'm writing this down as we speak, or after the podcast. I promise. It's on there. It's on there.
Well, bravo.
Since you do avatar videos, you could have different pictures of different avatars holding the numbers up each time as a way to like promote the avatar, and at the end is somewhere in the thing. So here's this avatar. It's the Runa base, and just little blitz about it at the end or something.
That would be a great idea. That would also be very interesting. Like world highlights, avatar highlights. Again, there are many possibilities that we can do to kind of like extend this concept of the magazine itself. But that's a great idea. That's a great idea. You know what? I did not thought about this idea, which is why I'm gonna write it down either now or after the podcast, so I don't forget it.
Don't worry, we'll remind you before you leave.
So what else have you been up to besides the magazine this last year? Because it's been a minute.
Ooh, yeah. Well, again, I've been there was the Academy thing, there was the Vrchat Avatar series thing, the feature VR. Not really much, honestly. I've been kind of like switching my focus back and forth to the Academy and then to YouTube. But as of right now, I'm really, really into Formula One. And okay, this is a weird mixture. Formula One and US politics. As you guys are voting the next president
poor
in November. It's
Wait a minute. Whoa.
It's a
Whoa.
pain, guys.
When you're talking Formula One, are you talking cars or are you talking about Formula with politics? I'm confused.
No. I'm talking Formula One with cars. So it's very different things that I'm really interested in right now. It's Formula One
Okay,
and
so
US
now,
politics.
now I understand that he's trying to get a high speed out of our politics. You're pretty much fucked. That's no matter which way you look at it, it's fucked.
I'm influencing the politics in US. What? That would be sick. Nah.
Okay, hold on. Let's nix the presidential debates. Let's just chock them full with enough caffeine and sugar and just let them speak for an hour unprompted and just see what happens. I think it'll be hilarious.
Oh, you know,
Better yet, wouldn't it be better? Wouldn't it be better if you just turn around, fill them full of sugar and stuff like that, and put them in a race car? That'd be about the same fucking effect we have now. What the hell? Watch them going around and around in a circle? What the hell? Think about it. Another left turn. Okay, I got this. Somebody's out of sugar buzz. Yeah, there you go. Simple, easy fix.
I really want them to play golf against each other. That's what I want.
Oh,
Or play
shit.
bowling against each
Oh.
other. And the winner gets the
Oh.
presidency.
No,
Yes.
our
God.
presidency is
Interesting.
already terrible enough. We don't need to make it any more
Yes.
of a fashion show as it is
You know,
already.
as a German,
Wait a
it's so entertaining. It's so entertaining to
Wait
watch
a
the
minute,
debates.
it's almost as bad as turning around into debating and everything over beer pong. That's about the same goddamn effect. What the hell? Shit. Well, you didn't win that vote. Okay. Oh, you sunk one. Drink up, drink up. Now, before it's over, you don't know what the hell you're signing. Think about it. Okay, I think I got votes for this. Okay, how about hammer deer? I don't know. I can't hit the ball. I can't throw the ball at the barn or broadside. And you're worried about me getting in a cup? Yeah,
each
what the
solo cup
hell?
is each solo cup is an electoral vote.
Oh,
Oh my
yeah,
God,
there you
that's
go.
a good idea. That's a good
Yeah, that
idea.
works. That works. Yeah, it works.
This
Poor
year,
bastard on the other end, every time he made it, had to drink it. Hey, well, what the hell? Yeah, it's passing. I'm drinking it. I got it.
President
boy.
President A was with 400 solo cups.
Oh my
Oh my God. That'd be, oh, wow.
That'd be hilarious to watch as an outsider.
Wow, yeah,
Here we
no
go.
shit.
The presidential debates. President A is facing President B in the presidential beer pong match, and it's just.
It's so ridiculous.
The funny thing is, it probably would happen, which makes me sad to say as an American.
Okay, as a German, US politics is the most entertaining shit, especially this year. That's why I just watch it and stuff. That's why I watch the US debates and probably the vice presidential debates. It's just so entertaining to watch. It's not because I stand for this person or for that person. I don't care about the people. I care about what they say, and some of that stuff is ridiculous and what comes out of these people's mouths when you consider that these people are politicians. But it's funny either way. But I hope that I mean, the overall goal of a U.S. presidential election is to have a good and leading president. Whether it be a female president or a male president, it doesn't really matter. After all, it's just kind of the same what we do in Germany. We vote for the parliament, and the parliament chooses. Well, it's not really the people that vote the president, but the parliament chooses our chancellor. And from the coalition that they form, from the parties that we voted for. So it does mean it does mean something. And if you have the right people that lead your country and focus on the people's needs and goals, but also consider outside connection, like not only focusing on the inner politics, but also on the outside politics. It really matters. It really matters.
Well,
So
I'm going to be
that's
honest.
all I can say about it.
On the U.S. politics, I'll say this is an official Lion Turtle response. I want the D's Nuts kid to run for president again. I'd vote for him.
Wait a minute. Well, wait a minute. I thought you were going to put me. Oh, that was Cheryl that wanted me to be president. Oh, Christ, for 2024. Oh, boy.
You are
Can
old
we
enough.
say, and this is an official endorsement, Tupper for president. Okay, no, okay.
Topper for president.
I mean, why not? Yeah, that'd be
That's
something.
the way it goes. Yeah, way it goes, you know.
Indeed.
I don't mind. I can also put my head in the ring. If you guys want to vote for me, I don't mind. I'm probably not gonna make it. I'm German, but being a U.S. president would be crazy to my stomach.
So I'm going to ask you.
Wait a minute.
I'm going to ask you a question real quick to segue out of politics. Who do you think you're going to have on Virtual Focus in the coming episodes? As like a broad strokes.
Ooh, that's a good question. So, Josibo and I, we've been thinking about Kong, which is also a VRChat staff member, to have on there. We also have been thinking about having influencers or creators or YouTubers in the VRChat niche that usually don't appear on podcasts, because there are some people or some creators which are really really cool, but they really try not to like talk much on podcasts or at all. But
Mm.
I mean, people are interested. People are how can I say it? I don't know if it's intrigued, the word that I've been looking for. And curious. People are curious when it comes to personalities that don't really have been on podcasts and talking about themselves and behind the scenes. We're curious species. Humans are curious, and that's why I want to give people or want to give viewers other people that have not been into podcasts at all. So that's mainly the focus of it. I mean, Tupper was on other podcasts, but it wasn't like, how can I say it? I'm probably gonna say it wrong, but it wasn't like how I expected it to be, in the sense of having a more personal Tupper in front of you. May I say it like that? Which I find more interesting because and probably people are also more curious and interested in Tupper as the person and not Tupper as the head of community or Kang as the VRChat staff member, but Kang as a person. That's what people are more interested in behind the avatar, basically. Yeah. So that's mainly the focus as well.
Okay. So by Kong, you mean Kongalua?
Not Congo, but its name is Khung, Kong.
Ah.
It's a staff member. Yeah, maybe you have heard of them before.
May have, I also
not
may not
sure.
have, but also probably mixed in with a bunch of other names that are buzzing around my brain at this point. We see so many people, I mix people up all the time.
No, there for a minute I thought he was talking about, King Kong coming on there. And I go, how in the hell are you going to get the monkey in the goddamn studio? And how are you going to get any answers out of him there for a minute there? But hey, what the hell? Everybody's to their own. Anything can happen in VR.
That's true. Maybe we do have King Kong in our future episodes. I promise. I don't know.
Be okay. It'll be okay until they bring the women, that brings the female in and sits beside you. Yeah, then you gotta worry.
Optimus Prime. Oh my God. That'd be an idea.
God. Oh my fucking God. Here we go. Now, fuck, if you're gonna bring that person in, why don't you just bring the aliens from the next country over? Out there, way out there. The next solar system, knowing the sun's not is our biggest planet. We're going way out there.
That'd be an idea. Why not? Nah, I'm just kidding.
You said something interesting though, where you said there are a lot of content creators who haven't been on podcasts. To be honest, I'm just probably dumb, but isn't like the VRChat podcast thing like a new rise in the last couple of years?
That also adds up to that. Yeah, it's very new. It's very new. I do have seen podcasts from 2 and 4 years ago where they also already have been recording stuff, but they haven't continued on newer episodes. So they haven't stayed really consistent. But it's especially right now, also with people who are listening to other podcasts, like I'm giving an example like Joe Rogan podcast or whatever podcast you can name on Spotify, for example. I think people are starting to listening more to them, especially during work. And also as VRChat grows in number, people are also more interested in people in VRChat avatars behind VRChat avatars. The people behind it. I mean, yeah, not that I'm trying to do word salad again, but it's just the overall aspect of that people raise their interest in podcasts and especially in VRChat, and these two intertwine, and that's why it's also on the rise. So it's really something interesting, especially when it comes to the development of that stuff.
Well,
I gotta admit.
It is a good way for people who do stuff like virtual production to talk about virtual production for an hour or two. So people who are interested in the various things that go on here, it would make sense to sit in and listen to it. As like, for example, we sat down with Congalulu and the various people from Penrose and Metacosm, and they talked in depth about what they do. So it'd be a good way to learn about that. And there's so many things happening in here in VRChat. It
Yeah.
only makes sense that eventually these kinds of conversations would begin sprouting out. It's a matter of time before, as we see now, it's happening.
And these are also great people. Kangal, which I also had on the Creative VR podcast, you can tell he's putting so much effort into his stuff. And as you also said, there's a lot of people who do media production in VRChat themselves, and they all are able to share this kind of knowledge to people who really want to get into that stuff specifically. So they can get inspiration and get the tools from recommendations from these people on your podcast, for example, and start their own thing, their own journey, and maybe, who knows, journey can go anywhere. So it's crazy. There's a lot of inspiration. We inspire each other all the time, especially on the VR chat side. That's also very important to note.
I do know there's a VRChat filmmakers Discord run by like Ariel and Congaloo and that the filmmakers aspect where they do little courses and stuff as well, like how to film and stuff of that nature as well. For another way for the people who you go to the academy with, you can send them there and be a way for them to get into VRChat and learn too.
That could also be an idea. Yeah. It's a huge Discord group. There's a lot of filmmakers, especially. I mean, it's a VRChat filmmaker Discord group, so of course all of them are playing also VRChat. But some of them in that group also have in real life experiences, which we could technically share on. Would be an idea. That's true. That would be actually a very interesting idea to share like knowledges and get some of my friends, some of my people that I study with, to experience the virtual reality themselves and overall filmmaking in virtual reality. That's actually a great idea.
It's a good way to get them into it with a thing they're already into. They're going to college for it, so there has to be some interest. And then there's people here who do VR filmmaking for fun as a hobby, and then also have a Discord where they share the knowledge, little courses and classes and other stuff. So it's kind of it's a place to send them if they're interested. If they ask you how do you do this, how do you do that, how's the camera work, like, oh hey, guess what? Bloop.
Definitely. And it's something they can have their first experiences on. That's also. So yeah, good idea. Good idea. I could maybe ask them, but I'm not sure if they probably have time for it. But would be an option, definitely.
Also, shout out, you should go over to Studio Penrose's YouTube and watch all their videos. They did a re-release, a remaster of one of their older short films. You should go watch. It was released recently. Go watch it.
Oh yes. Go watch it. I think Studio Penrose, exactly. And Congo is doing so crazy stuff. It's like that there are so many frames and where you think, how was Congo able to create this in VRChat? It's like damn, there's so much crazy stuff, and it's just it's pumping motivation to many people and giving inspiration to these people as well. So Congo's doing good. He's doing God's work.
Indeed. Someone else you should pull on as well, because they're really interesting to your show, is SNR Labs, Apple and Adidas, with their hologram stuff and what they're working over there. That's super interesting. And chill out Charles, another really interesting person.
Ooh,
they're doing brain sense stuff where they take brain waves, chill out Charles, and then you can activate animations with that. It's another really cool conversation that we had that I would heavily suggest for you. Both of them. Really interesting, really cool stuff.
Oh, that's something I'm gonna look into. That's really interesting. Holographic stuff?
So,
what was it
have
again?
you ever been to Moonpool, for an example? You know, the rave world with a hologram thing that comes out of the pool to music? So they're working on a giant through particle systems. I'm sorry, Adidas and Apple, if I butcher this, please forgive me. But they have a room where it's made with particles and lights, and with VJ software can arrange those particles to look like things and do things to music. So it can get brighter, darker, move, shapes, stuff like that.
Right. Yeah, that stuff is that stuff is crazy.
It is.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it multiple times. And I think also FIA is using that stuff also for like different instances.
Oh, different
so
kind
that
of hologram.
people can still enjoy.
So what Fia's doing is a different kind of hologram. I think is closer to what DX is doing, which is a kind of like imposters, but with a camera box you sit in, and it'll take multiple cameras from different angles and then rebuild your avatar as like a weird 3D PNG. I'm butchering this, I'm sorry. But long story, you can take that and put those in various instances, yes. But what Apple and SNR Labs is doing is more akin to having particles arranged in certain ways with VJ software. So you can have it move around and stuff. So they call it a hologram. You should go see it. Moonpool, as well as I think they released a test public world too. You should check it out. It's awesome.
That's great. I think even that, if I would explain my colleagues that we have a hologram inside of Vrchat, they wouldn't understand it.
No.
This is very complex stuff. Even I don't really understand it because it's so much. So, but I will look it up to understand it.
You should. You know what? When we're done with this, I'll drop a portal if I can find the hologram world, or at least Moonpool, so you can see it. And it's really awesome stuff. And then also another person you pull on, as I said earlier, is Charles with Biosense, with their brain scanning technology, where he's writing a program to work with a Muse 2 headset, a 4-node system. And then with that, it will read your brain waves in order to like activate animation. So if you're excited, you can have your avatar lights flash or a tail wag. If you're relaxed, you can have your ears down and you can activate that. And I think recently they started working on or figuring out face tracking with the same software.
With a chip in your head?
No, not a chip in your head.
With a chip in your head?
No. It's like a wreath. It's like a brain wreath. It will fit right over your headset. It's like a headset you put on your head. Think like the. Have you got like a very simplified version? If you ever got like EKGs or sleep analysis, and they put that weird wreath thing on your head, it's basically that.
Yo, that's just insane. I can't believe that this stuff is working. Honestly,
yeah.
Wait, Raptor, what do you think about this?
Read my brain waves, it'd be pretty much fucking just a commercial. Just saying, you know. We want to read something that's empty. You know that saying, your parents go, God, you got enough brains to keep the space between your ears. In my case, my space collapsed out and it's just floating around.
Well, yeah, I think it's crazy technology, definitely. It's probably people gonna expand on this as well. So there's a lot of potential they can do with stuff like that, definitely. Especially Neuralink, for example.
Indeed.
Could also be something.
I'd say if the VRChat builders and devs keep on building, I'd say within 10 years, face tracking cameras would be, within VRChat at least, will be a thing of the past. You'll like have your Biosense wreath or whatever in your head, and it's just face tracking your muscles and the brainwaves. That'd be fucking awesome. Not gonna lie.
It's giving me cyberpunk vibes, kind of. Just like a hinge of cyberpunk.
Well, to be fair,
a little dystopia.
It's also the kind of things that Valve and Steam is working on too. Because I remember seeing an interview that Gabe did, and he was saying they're doing research into brain stuff as well in order to like figure out like if you move your arm or muscles, what waves in your head are going off, and how could they tap into that for full dive or whatever. It was a really interesting conversation.
Damn. So Sword Art Online is gonna be a real thing. That's cool.
Maybe, yeah.
Well, I mean, I do want to get out of my headset, but that's an important thing.
Yeah,
Great stuff.
the stuff is happening though, and those are two people I'd suggest you bring on because they're super intelligent, very interesting people, and I think honestly, it'd be a great conversation for you to have.
I'll look it up and see what we can do. Again, it's still like we still haven't anything planned, but this would be a great idea. Also a great topic to talk about, especially when it comes to the future of virtual reality and how we interact with everyday things. So that's a good idea. That's crazy. I haven't heard of this. This is new stuff to me right now in my ears. That's crazy.
I may live
Honestly.
in VRChat online spaces, and I may or may not be searching for new things all the time. I need to go touch grass.
It's about time.
What, Raptor?
You touching grass is like me walking. You touching grass is like me walking through dog shit. It's gonna be about fucking something you got to step around.
Fair. Ooh.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Fair.
I'll mark it down, by the way. That's a good idea. It's great stuff,
So,
really.
Another question for you is what's coming on the horizon for what you're up to?
More I'll try to keep it short. I hope I'm not like entangled in my word salad. More virtual focus episodes, definitely. Expansion of the VRchat Avatar series and having more series added. Giving more inspiration to other people. That's actually the reason why I started making YouTube videos. I think I talked about this in the last episode that we made, I think 9 or 10 months ago. And keep entertaining people. That's the most important thing. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely expanding on the virtual focus thing. That's one of the high priorities when it comes to the YouTube channel.
Well, I think virtual focus is an amazing thing, and Rap and I both watched your first episode, and you did great work with it. So you and Gazebo both. So
yeah,
as I said at the beginning, strong way to start.
Well.
Thank you guys.
Yep, you did a good job.
This means a lot. This means a lot to me. That means we're gonna make another episode. Yes, I promise.
Second episode when?
Oh, that's good. Okay, that's a good question.
Wow, he just throw him on the spotlight. Thanks a lot.
Yes.
Yeah, poor guy's gonna go. Oh shit! Now I got. Oh crap! I gotta figure out when.
New episodes 3 times a week, every week. Virtual focus.
Yeah, and he's gonna come and kick you. Well, it looks like somebody's flying from Germany to fucking where you were at and kick you in the ass.
Oh my, yeah,
boy.
but the question of when is a good question because as of right now we have no idea.
That's fair.
Yeah, very fair. It's hard to play it out that way.
Indeed. Well, Parzeval, thank you so very much for coming on. It's been awesome to hear about what you've been up to this last year. And honestly, I can't wait to see more from Virtual Focus and your YouTube channel. It's amazing what you're up to, man.
Thank you for having me, guys. It was a pleasure. It was really interesting. Especially, I didn't know about the brain thing and stuff. It's crazy,
Want me to send
crazy,
you their
crazy.
episodes for you to learn about it?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. I'm all in for it.
I just hope he doesn't take it back to one of his professors and go, "Hey, do you know they're studying brain waves?" What?
Do you remember all that complicated things I was telling you before about recording in VRChat? Now there's brain scanning and holograms. What?
Yeah.
What?
There's gonna be so much more air coming out of the ears and stuff. I promise.
Feel like
That's
people
crazy.
eating a goddamn tire going down the road, taking the valve stem out. Yeah, the air. It'll be plenty of air on top and nothing on the bottom. It's flat. Gotcha.
It's
Well, Parzival, where can the audience find you if they wish to find you?
You can find me at youtube.com at Parzeval. You can find me on Twitter at VSC. And you can find me. That's it. That's where you can find me, I think. And you can find me on Vrchat. Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
All of that will be in the description down below for you to find and click to your own personal needs and wants. There's a bunch of cool stuff down there, like always. Before I hand it to Raptor to close us off, I'll ask you, the audience member, a question. Not to sound a little biased, but with that said, what kind of podcast are you listening to? We're interested. Tell us about them and why you're listening to them. I'll tell you what I'm listening to. Currently, I'm listening to the Glass Cannon podcast to my own self, outside of this. Fantastic show if you like D&D and Pathfinder. And Raptor, you know the thing.
Yeah, no matter what you do, folks, in here, you can have a good time, bad time, and no matter what it is, if you're going to college or trying to get a degree and everything else, and you talk to your professor and he runs you through shorts and stuff like this, and you're trying to figure out what he's talking about, just give him the same look and go, "What? I don't understand. Can you explain it to me?" And we'll talk to you later. Have a good one, folks. Bye.